Hey guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to the third episode of FoolsTown here in City Skylines 2. Last episode we built a little bit of a farming industry which went really well. We now produce livestock and we produce grain. Now I've since found out I could have put the livestock anywhere. It didn't need to be on the actual fertile land. So foolish of me. But we are back right now and we kind of progressing down our big boulevard where today I kind of want to change things up slightly. Now, this might be a little bit early for me to do this, but I want to look at the highway system. And I've always said from the first two episodes that I want to build some type of a highway that kind of comes down here, which will progress in the directions that we set our 4-lane roads, which will connect up to other highway networks to kind of have easy access to any of the areas within our city. Now, I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to kind of treat this as a little bit of an experiment. I've got the option to either delete all this road here and then tear the highway through and then do junctions to connect up. That's one idea. Another idea is that I can elevate it over this road and then we kind of pick the odd little junction or section where we kind of connect it to the highway. I'm not 100% sure yet what the best way to go about doing it would be. I kind of am swinging more towards deleting the road, having the highway come through, which here is going to be a freeway intersection, which is going to be quite cool because I really want to experiment with how this new stuff actually works and how we can kind of really create some unique designs and stuff like that. So if you are enjoying this series so far and want to see more, make sure you smash that like button down below. Look at my row housing, boys. It looks so good. So good right now, our terraced row housing. If you are enjoying it, smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, at this moment in time, the city has minimal complaints. There's a few that are still complaining about the high rents, and all that jazz, not enough customers. But for the most part, this is the least the city has complained recently. So I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of play around with building some type of a highway. So, when it comes to highways then, I believe we've currently got them locked, and it's something that we have to spend our development points on to unlock. So we're going to pick highways here, we're going to unlock it, which gives us high-speed capacity roads. Nice. Now, intersections is not what you think. You still can build intersections. It just means the intersection section where there's a load of pre-built stuff. I'm not too worried about it just yet, but I got all of our highway roads, which is quite exciting. So, the current highway in the game right now is a 3-lane highway. We're going to reduce it down to a 2. I believe it comes in as a 2 anyway. Now, I've got a couple of options, like I said. I can either elevate it up and above and get it to kind of complement this road, which means it would kind of build down like over like this because we don't really have much space to build on the roads. Now, while that is pretty sweet and nice, it's quite spaced apart, which means when I come to do a junction, it's going to get a little bit tasty. So I think the best bet is just to kind of completely rip out a lot of this road and just go with it in that regards. It's a shame really, because a lot of these vehicles are using this road. It will force them to use the little side streets a little bit more, but then they'll kind of have faster routes to get to places, so it might be a case where they hop on the highway here and then the next turn off will be over here or something like that. So it could work out fairly well. I've just got to situate and figure out the best way to do this. So I'm going to pause the game for a minute. We'll delete the roundabout. I'll delete a couple of little sections here so I can get the positioning of our kind of highway just right. So, what's the best way to do it? I think maybe building an alleyway road, because it's the skinniest one out of all of them. Bringing this down to the ground and then going right there. Is that the direction I want to go? No. So if I went to there and I went to there, is that too far apart, do you reckon, or is that just close enough? Apparently that's meant to be center, but it's nowhere near center. Oh, this is going to be a pain, isn't it? This truly is going to be a pain. But I can use the parallel tool. Let's not forget we can use the parallel tool right now. So increase offset. So, okay, well, decrease the offset. Right, that's the offset that we kind of given. Would you say that's in the middle? It's quite difficult to work out where the middle is, isn't it? It is quite difficult. What I reckon we should do then is... So that's the center there. If I went there... No. Okay, now is it changing where it picks? Oh, this is going to be really difficult. I think it's either one or the other, or I'm going to have to utilize... Can I even make it smaller? 0.5? Right, we've made the offset smaller. How much smaller can we go? 0.25? Right, you're pushing boundaries now, boys. Do you know what? It's not perfect, that. But I reckon we could get away with that. So if I implement this here, I now have... Oh, dear God. I now have a highway. Now, I've got a couple of options for roads and stuff, so let's break this down slowly. So we're going to have this highway tearing through, which does look awfully close, but that is completely fine. Loads of space right now. The closer it is, the better we can kind of utilize it for underpasses and overpasses. Now, we can do simple stuff. Like when it comes to one of these roads, I could either whack it into like a roundabout of some sorts. Which one is the best one that will kind of work? The small one, maybe? Hold on, can I not get any of these to work on this? Wow, okay, let me delete you. Delete you, delete you. And can I drop... If I kind of connected these up... Hang on, I'm still in the parallel tool. Really? You can't do that? I would have thought we could have whacked them straight into a roundabout. Right, hold on, hold on. This is where the experiments all come into play right now. If I bring this directly across again. Right, I can't do that. That's fine, but let me delete. And we'll increase the offset slightly. We'll increase the offset. I'm not going to worry too much about the alignment. Right, we're going a little bit too far over there. No, a little bit more maybe. Right, we'll go to there with it. Now, this is completely way too far apart. So we're not going to be able to get a roundabout on there. You can get double roundabouts, almost. But my another idea is, what if I had kind of flyover roads? So if I put this here, and I deleted you and you, right, just so I can kind of create the node in the middle. And then we get back to our highway style here. And then we have our singular road. So this one could then up and elevate over. Oh, this is exciting. So if I went completely over it like this... Or at least to here. And then go back down. Now the problem with this is if I do the offset by 3, a bit too much, by 2. Right, I think this is where we then have to kind of get rid of the parallel tool. And I can maybe run this. So if I had that go into there, that could kind of turn off into here. So if I replicate the same thing here then. Now, while that is not, again, perfect, this is now using lane math. And it's probably taking it a step too far at this point. But utilizing lane math, we could then do like a double roundabout. So I could do one there and then one there. I could do a large one, you know, there, whatnot. Or I could kind of keep it on the inside and bring them into a singular roundabout. There's a lot of ways in which we can kind of look at doing this. How does a singular roundabout work if I do it the opposite way round? So once we figured out this design, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. So back to the highway roads. If I now go on the inside and then do the same here. Well, how do I snap into that? There we go. I think this is a little bit too far away for the roundabout. Now I know this is possible because I did it in my starter city. I had something similar set up like this, but I feel like the roads need to be really, really close together. So I reckon what we need to do is we need to come off this one there and then that one there. And I think that's where you can situate the roundabout. So not too big, not too beautiful. So this is definitely different, isn't it? It is definitely different, but again, not working the way I'm expecting it to. Not working the way I'm expecting it to. So what if I come off this? So that would go... The problem is, right? The problem is you're trying to do something that's just not going to want to take shape. Maybe go for a larger roundabout. Give us a little bit more space and room. Because ultimately, I think the other best way as well is maybe bringing it into like a back and forth lane. But then it's quite difficult to get the spacing just right. Right, scrap these ideas anyway. Because we're wasting too much time on jibber jabber right now. We need to tear this highway all the way through. So delete all this. We'll delete all the little connections as well. And we'll kind of come back to them and place them all in where we kind of see fit, where it would kind of work. We'll delete this. I'm actually going to delete all of this and rebuild it myself because I know it's not actually centered. Believe it or not, this trumpet is not centered to my road. I don't know what happened. I think it kind of goes a bit wonky and then the road that sticks out was kind of slightly centered. But I'm not 100% too sure. So let's go back to this road. The highway, and was it a 1? Oh, that's elevation. I need parallel. Was it a 1 or a 2? It was a 1, wasn't it? Reduce that down to a 1. So keeping this going as straight as we possibly can. And we'll bring it to there. So that's going to tear through quite nicely. And then we're going to have some fun in this section. That's going to be where we have the most fun. The most fun. And then let's create some overpasses then. So what we'll do, we'll initially have some overpasses, which will allow us to take the vehicle traffic up and over. Let me change this elevation. So is a 5? Do you reckon 5's enough? This is what I've also got to kind of work out as well, is the elevation of stuff. What's okay and what's not okay. What is the right height and what is not the right height. So I think a 5 is not the right height. So maybe change into a 7.5. So I'm assuming it's like, it's meterage, right? Right, can I... What's going on now? Can I not select the floor? Alright, 0. 7.5. Is that enough to carry over? I think it will be. I think it will be. So 7.5 up and over as a small little bridge. So that's an overpass where you don't want a highway connection. You're just making it really easy for vehicle traffic to get from one side to the other without having to interact with the actual highway themselves. Now, we'll do another one. So work it out again. So we've got a 2, then we can do the actual connection there. Then a 2, and then this is your next overpass connection here. So bringing it out. That's your 7.5. That's all squared off. And then up. That's your 7.5 all squared off connection over. And that's no stress, no dramas. Quite simple, quite easy. But we're going to utilize this one here to be where it connects. Now, these are the two options. We can kind of try and configure some type of a roundabout, or I do another overpass, which allows us then to kind of create on slip ramps, on and off slip ramps to this. But my only concern is how much the vehicle traffic is going to backlog itself, because if I did a slip ramp to there, it's only a short distance either side. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky, right? It's where it gets a little bit tricky. My other option is to not do a slip ramp, so to say, and kind of tear it directly through there. Now, you can't whack a roundabout here. It doesn't work. It's either one side or the other. You know what I mean? Can you do double? You can't even do double roundabouts, which is kind of hilarious. But that's like a normal intersection on the highway, but vehicle traffic has to fully slow down to be able to enter and exit this. And that's not what I technically want at the moment. So, let's add a node in then. Is there a way to even add nodes in? I don't think there is. I think it's just a case of, right, if I kind of build directly through here, and if I build directly through there, just so I can chop off this little section there, and we can kind of utilize it. So, the options are, have the roads overpass in the single files, and then we kind of bend the slips off into maybe 2 little mini roundabouts, or just 2 standardized junctions is probably the best way to go about doing it. So I'm not going to do parallel for this because it can get a little bit tricky. And let's pick a side then. Should we pick the inner side for the bit that goes straight over? I think so. I think so. The inner side. Yes. So from there, centered, we're going to bring this out. And we'll go up to... Oh, we're going up by quite a bit there. 7.5. I think that'll be reasonable, right? So if I do that to just before then, and then that would go here. But it's not on the side that I want it on. Oh my god, I am putting it on the wrong side. I'm legit putting it on the wrong side here. I want it on the inner side, is what I want. There we go. So that will connect into there. And then we've got to create, which this is where it gets a little bit difficult now. The bend going out. But that's where we kind of go back to the ground. So if I go 2 away, and let's say I'll go about here. So 2 away, which will be there. And we went along by the length of, well, it's kind of hard to work out, isn't it? About here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4, 5. There we go. So that's where it's going to kind of hopefully take place. To where we can then whack. Like, you can do mini roundabouts. You can do larger. Okay, maybe not so much large. You can do these style of roundabouts, which is completely fine. I reckon these are these medium ones. Yeah, if I drop it 2 mediums on. Now, hopefully the double roundabouts doesn't cause us an issue. I've got that option, or I can do this option. Just standard connections. And I can upgrade these roads to 2 lanes so we have multiple vehicle traffic entering and exiting. So if I replicate this on this side then, so just so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. And so on the inside, which will be here, we then go up to 7.5. And then getting this all in shape, all in lane. Like that. That goes across. Ooh, apparently it's overlapping. So we're okay on this side then. Why are we not okay on that side? Okay, apparently we now are. Apparently we now are. Right, very good, very good. So I can now get rid of these roads then. These are no longer needed. And now we're going to have a beautiful little highway connection. So it does, in a weird way, it's kind of slightly a little bit more difficult to build. But at the same time, it's a lot more easier because you can get it a lot more precise. So that's, I suppose that's all part of the fun, isn't it? It's all part of the fun. So these slip roads then, now I can do either a complex curve, which I've just realised I've got these roads the wrong way round. Now, how do I flip them? Is it even possible to flip them? Is it in road maintenance? Can I flip a road round? I actually don't know. Is it even possible to flip a road round? I'm not too sure. But let's not beat around the bush right now. Let's get this all in. So that's to there. Now these curves then, this is what's going to be quite interesting. Is how do I approach them? So ooh. Don't tell me it's going to be that simple. So if I stick it out by a 40 and bend in. Oh, no, no, no. Let's do this right. 40 and bend in. It's never that disgustingly easy. It's my new favourite word right now, disgustingly. Right, bring this down to 0. Okay, this one's a little bit different now because we're going the different direction. So 40. See, I can't do it that way because the way that the road is now progressing. But I can do this one 40, right? 40 and then bend in. Oh, that's a point. Did I do it by a... So I want to get these perfect, okay? I want to get these perfect. So a 40 by 39. So a 40 by... Well, I said 39. That one's going to have to be a 38. But it should still work. It should still work. Right, delete you, delete you. So I've got to flip these roads around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you. Right, let's go with this one first anyway, that connection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So the only thing I got to do different now then. Oh, I did not do this one. Whoops, my bad. That's too far. The only thing I got to do different now then is working out how the bend works here. So by that logic, then it should kind of technically be very, very similar. 39 by a 40. This is too easy. Right, it's just finding the right spot now, isn't it? 38 by a 40. It's just disgustingly beautiful, isn't it? So that is a simple intersection. That's nothing crazy. That's nothing to go OMG about. My only concern is traffic-wise. Now, what I could do is upgrade the certain bits. So as they approach in here and exit. Ooh. That didn't go to plan, did it? Right, get this on the right sides. So as they approach and exit, it does kind of turn into a little bit of a two-laner. So it's just an easy way to have two vehicles turn in and out at the same time. Now, you could argue that I need to push these further down, would be the next question, to give us a little bit more leeway. And you're probably right in that, if that's what you're probably saying. Because to whack a small little roundabout on these, that's what we're going through. Now, I don't know whether we kind of need, at this moment in time, the smaller or the wider slip roads at the moment. It all depends on how much vehicle traffic we're going to see. Well, if I go for roundabouts to begin with, we see how we get on. Well, it could be a case of I need longer... Oh, hang on, I've got to reconnect that back up. We need longer slip roads. That's what I'm going to suggest. Right, let's sort this out then. What I'm going to do is I'm going to revert this to its original state. So you can see here we got the slip roads. We're going to kind of keep this as 3 lanes going all the way through. Because I'll dictate where I want the slip roads to go. Right. Nice. Nice. Now, I've got a couple of options here. I can either merge them together or take them over at the same time together. There's a couple of ways I can go about doing that. Right, paralleling it. There we go. We'll go up to 7.5, and then I'll take it over, which it doesn't want to go over. But it should be a single lane at some point as well. So if I upgrade on the insides... There we go. And then we'll bring these over individually, right? I'll get rid of the parallel tool there. Right, apparently you overlap him. Do you reckon it's because it's not a 10? Do you reckon the 10 will make all the difference? Let's find out. Let's find out. Right, that's a 10. And that went over a lot easier. It did go over a lot easier, but that's not work. That's not... Ah, there we go. That's where it needs to go. I wasn't aligned correctly. Right, that's gone over a lot easier right now. So then these roads here, if I go back down to a 0... This should make my life also a lot easier next. So if I go from there and then just do this and then there, we should do... I could use parallel here. This is the next thing that's kind of a little bit difficult as well. Wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Wow, it's either like one or the other, isn't it? Alright, we'll go here. We'll go like that. So I can then get rid of the parallel, get rid of all of that. Bring this in. Same with you. And now we've got our little bit of a slip road. So, this should make it really easy now to build a trumpet. So, at least the trumpet right now will be better aligned than the original one. At least it will be better aligned than the original one. So, okay. This is the different with this as well. Now, in previous City Skylines 1, you would use like lane math. Like, you would reduce this down. After the turn off, you would then reduce this down to a 2-lane. Now, you can still do it. Let's not, I'm not going to say you can't do it. You can still do it. But at the same time, you don't have to do it. You can just add an additional slip road, which is kind of what you would see. I'm going to get rid of this for a minute. It's kind of what you would see in real life. Well, at least that's what you'll see in the UK anyway. If I connect you in like that. In the UK, if it's a 3-lane road like this, you won't have the left lane turn off and it become a 2-lane. It would stay a 3-lane. The left lane will come off into a 4th lane, and that 4th lane will turn off while remaining a 3-lane. But I think we mainly did that in City Skylines 1 because that's how the game had to, like, that's how you had to do it to make the game kind of technically work, which is kind of annoying. Anywho, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of nodes here. So if I do this there, and if I do this here, because I don't truly know if it's easy to even add nodes in without having to do this. And my other side is I don't know if I've done this now a little bit too close. So if I go for a 4-lane, there, and there, that's very long, isn't it? I could do it like that to kind of mimic it. This might be a little bit too close to turn off, so you could kind of select this lane here to where we've got our little snap, bend that up. Oh, this works. It's just disgustingly easy to now build stuff. I'm not even going to lie. Right, get that to that lane there. Look at that. The crazy thing is, it's so much better than what I could have built in City Skylines 1 almost. And it's just going to work. It's just going to work. So now I've got to do this. Now, I should still have the ability to do parallel, right? And I can. And what was the spacing? Was it a 1? Yes. The spacing was a 1, but we're quite high at the moment. So we went from a 10. We'll drop down to a 7.5. So drop down to a 7.5. We'll do a 90-degree bend there, drop down to a 5. And then that was a 64. So a 64, which there's not really perfect 64, so I'll go 66. It's fine. It will still be okay. It will still be okay. To there, down to a 2.5. And then we'll do a little straight section as we bring it down to a 0. So that's now winded round beautifully. Beautifully. And then we do the same thing here right now with the little additional slips. So a little bit too far for where I want them. So we'll create our own little connections. So if I go there, and I go there, and I delete, and then our 4-lane highways, there. Ooh. Okay, that's a little bit of a problem then, isn't it? That's a little bit of a problem. So what if I brought this in? Right, get rid of parallel. Is that enough to move it over? No. No. It's not Sediak. It's not. You can't... I mean, I can't delete that, can I? That little pillar? No. Right, we'll delete this and delete to there. And then we'll rejig that. It's probably easier to do that. So bringing that in, we'll get these slip roads now all connected. So for this one, it's quite simple. Bend in. This one. Voila. It's too good. It's too good. Right. Now, can I just go straight in? Right, raise it by 10. Straight down. So this. Oh, no. Right, there we go. We're back in business. We're back in business with a brand new trumpet, which looks a lot... I mean, it's no different than the last one, but it looks a lot better. It should work a lot better. And we've got slip roads that will kind of, you know, work with it. So, like I said, my concern is this. That we will see a lot of traffic building up in these roundabouts. But they're roundabouts. So we should see the traffic flow a little bit easier as well. We'll see how we get on with that, but as long as we keep building multiple junctions in these places, we should be okay. But I still feel like we should have done a longer slip road. That's how I feel. We should have done a longer slip road. And maybe a slightly bigger roundabout. But yeah. You get the idea. And we could also upgrade this road to like a 4-laner. Which would give us more lanes on the roundabouts. But we'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on. The only reason this is going to be busy initially, because it's the only turn-off for the highway currently. It is the only turn-off. Oh my goodness me. Right, so. Let's see how we can extend this further down then. So we're going to get rid of... We'll get rid of you for just a moment, and we'll delete this to there. And we'll try and implement this one. Now, I reckon, right, we'll make it stay on the ground, bending all the way around this way. No, we'll make it stay on the ground, bending all the way around that way, and then we'll elevate the slip roads off and have an elevated highway going down that way. So we'll have it a little bit different going elsewhere. That's what we'll do. So let me get this... Oh, I'm trying to attempt right now to get this all now aligned. So this is the problem right now with the traffic we're building up because we don't have the highway now all rebuilt. There's only one direction they can pretty much go. So back down to the ground then. Parallel mode. Now what is the distance of this? Oh, it is a 1. Okay, that's perfect. That is perfect. So if I try and at least to get this situated right... Which we'll go with that. That will be fine. I don't think that'll cause too many issues. And how long of the stretch? Okay, so that's a 152. Right, make sure it's on the right one, by the way. Yeah, is it a 152? 152. 151. We'll work with that. Oh, it's on the wrong type of bend. No. So that flows through. And that will continue to flow through. Now, we're going to do it on this side real quick. Right, I think I found it easier to do something like this. And then delete that. And then redo the highway. Yeah, so bring in this to... We'll bring this just to here for now. Because then we've got to figure out how we kind of intertwine this connection. Which is going to look really glorious. This triple kind of like... What would you call it? Like not a turbine. Is it a turbine? I'm not sure what you actually call it. Also, is it snowing? We're about to have snow. I'm about to experience snow for the first time in the game, believe it or not. That's wild. Right, delete all this. Alright, it's all gone. Oh, the snow's kind of crazy. Right, I'm going to build it to there just so it's kind of like all situated correctly. I was going to elevate that. I think what I'll do is I might redo it. Right, I'm going to have to pause it right now because I've deleted roads and connections. So, I think... No, all I need to do is do the overpass. That's what I need to do, is just the overpass. So, we did 7.5s on these before. So, 7.5. I'm hoping that this is going to work out, at least. Right, so 7.5. And then 7.5 and across? No? We might have to go for the full 10. We might have to go for the full 10. The full shebang. Unless we go down to an 8.75? Alright, there we go. Bit funky, but we got there. We got there in the end. So that will give them guys the power and sewage for the farm area back anyway. So we still got some type of a connection there. So now we just need to... How is this junction looking now? I mean, it's fine. But once we get more in, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Right, so... We're going to have it happen here. Is where we're going to have it happen. Now, I've got the option to replicate this. Or, I could unlock the intersections. Which is... Oh, you need to unlock large roads as well. So, unlock that for 2. This for 4. Now, I only want to unlock it to see if there's anything that we could potentially just throw in. Now, what I've built is a very, very loose version of maybe something like this. Right? Or maybe like this. Or you can argue this. Very, very loose versions. Now, these are great, but these are way too big for what I need. So, yeah, I think it's still best that I kind of build my own. So, I've got to now try and replicate this. Now, I did it all based off that connection there. Now, these ones are a little bit further spaced, so this will be a good experiment. To be honest with you, this might be a good experiment with the longer distance. So, bringing that out, I'll bring this one out. There we go, and I'll obviously bring this directly down. So, this will be a good experiment to kind of test it all. So we need to bring the slip roads into it. We also need to kind of connect over it as well. So if I delete you, you, and you. And we'll first start then with our overpasses. This is really weird that it's snowing, by the way. We've got the bigger roads as well, which is quite exciting. It feels really weird that it's now snowing. Oh, does that... Wait, does that... No. I'm doing this on the parallel? No, surely not. Surely not. By a 10, right? Oh, wow, that's not on the whole parallel. Okay, that's just made life easier. That's just made life so much easier. Right, okay. So, look at the space in there, and I'm trying to figure out what I now did here. So we'll get rid of the parallel at this point. They're all now joining on the highway, which is kind of cool for them to see. Or kind of cool for us to see as well. We'll go and do this one, do you reckon? Leave a 2 gap. Yeah. Now we could take the slip all the way back to here. So this is what I was probably going to mess around with, is upgrading that to a single lane, that to a single. Oh wait, have I done it on the wrong one? Oh, but he's only gone and done it on the wrong one. He's only gone and done it on the wrong one, boys. What an absolute noob. How have I managed that? Sometimes I surprise myself, if I'm completely honest with you. Right. Parallel again. Right, this shouldn't take too long right now to kind of sort out. Alright, that's in. That's in. And if I delete this and then delete all of that, because it's coming from there, so I could literally just select the inner side and then run this, or I could do it from there. I'm not too sure. Actually, I might stick it out by this to at least there first. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. So, the inner side here, I'm going to bring up to 10. So making sure that's all square, which it is. Do the exact same thing on this side. Well, that's a 10. I need it to be square. There we go. Connect them over. Now, that isn't the right one, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is on the right one. Before anything bad happens. Get rid of the parallel. Bring us back down to 0. And we'll go from there to there to there. So leaving the 2 gap space. There to there to there. So we're going with a longer slip. Now, I could do it just based on them there. Because these are now all going to go, by the way. Or I could take it all the way back just so I've got some organization. Oh, I suppose it doesn't really matter now, does it? Doesn't really matter. So let's work this out then for this connection. So from here, we'll go... So the full distance to there is about... Okay, we'll go 70. 70, 72, 73. So 72, 75? It works. It works. So I suppose it all depends on where you kind of connect it to as well. But it does look a lot better longer, doesn't it? I will give them that. It does look a lot better longer. Yeah. Now, the roundabout sitch. We'll drop the 2 small ones down. And then play mode. And let them do their thing. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Vote on this. Do you reckon I should do the longer slip roads or the shorter ones? This is the problem you got right now. I mean, I say the problem. There's only a backlog here because of how much backlog I had just over there. It's just kind of dispersing. But short or long? I'll let you guys decide on that one. I'll let you guys decide. So let's kind of finalize and finish this all up then. So we're going to have the road here, obviously, connect over, making sure it's all square. This road is also going to continue going up, but I don't think I can quite get it to reach there. So I'm going to unlock those 4 tiles here next. And then we'll get these now connected in. There we go. So at least we've got multiple access points for the highway at the moment. But the highway will continue, but we can kind of just keep it to end in there at the minute. Now, this is the next one. This is the next one. Now, I did say I might keep this one here elevated. I think that might be a good idea. It would lead to a better transition. Now, you can't... I'm going to throw it out there right now. You can't upgrade it to be elevated, can you? No. That's not a thing. So if I just delete these here, and if I just now temporarily just elevate it up So going down. So if I elevate up to 10, and I bring this all the way out to about here. Now this is going to be quite fun and quite unique. So if I go to about, I'm gonna call it about there. I'm gonna call it about there, and we're gonna upgrade little 3-lane sections that we can kind of curve off on. There and there. There and there. Now for these roads here, it's just a case of it's merging onto it. So the right and left, there, and then that one kind of goes up. Yeah. So, if this turns out to be so easy, I'm going to be triggered. I don't know why, but I will be triggered. Because I just know it's going to be easy. So if I select the left-hand lane here, I'll get rid of the parallel. If I select the left-hand lane, and at what point can I snap into it? So there's the snap there to the slip road on that highway. So I've got the snap in. I just got to bring it down right now. No. If I press click right now and this is smooth operator, I will be mad. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Disgusting. How dare you make me build such smooth intersections. Right, and then do the same with this. So we've got to... Oh, Boomtown. So you got to keep that straight, but then you hit the snap, and we need the left-hand lane, which is there. So that's a 157, but I could literally just go all the way and not worry too much. Nice. So we have the connections now in place. It's just the connections on the opposite way is going to be a little bit tricky for us. So what I reckon we do is we bring it out a little bit straighter first. At least on this one. And we'll make that other one be the one that kind of goes over the top of all of these. So if I now get the bend right on this. So the bend for that actually is... Oh, that's going to be quite difficult, isn't it? How do I find the bend? So that's the bend there. I'm going to... Oh, it's there. Okay, it's there. Right, let's try that again. And this is where it gets a little bit difficult, isn't it? I think we might have a little bit of trouble with this one. I think it might be a case where the actual connection needs to be a bit longer. See, this is all about the learning right now. This is all about the learning. Because you've got to swing it round to run it and then drop it down is what you've got to do. So, oh, the snow's melting, by the way, guys. The snow's melting. So if that's the case, then I reckon what we should do here is, if possible, try and get a straight-ish run down to there. Whoops. Right, if I go to the 5 and then connect it in. So I've done a 5 there on the hopes that this is a better bend in. Now, why is that not staying elevated? It really wants to snap into it. I think because I need this to be a 10. An elevation of 10. So, you know, it's not, I mean, it's not bad. It's me learning the game. So I brought that to there. Now, this should snap in beautifully. So it's hard to pick up the bend. I'm going to say it's about there. Why is it wanting to merge down so bad? Right. We'll get to there. Oh, I think I know what it is. I think because I'm trying to snap it on. So if I went there... No, okay, it's nothing to do with that then. What about a continuous bend? I might have to delete the road underneath to get this to work. Right, pause. Delete, 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 delete. And now we'll do it. So that is there. So that's a 82, 81, straight in. Right, let's do this side then. Now this is the big one, because this one has to go up and over the 2. So this, I've got to bring it up to like almost a 20. So I bring that up to that about there. This is really, really high now. This is going to be really high. And if I then go to a 20 about there, but then try and bring that down to that marker there, I've just got to get these two now situated in a connection. Oh, this is beautiful. So as long as I can now get the highways underground to now connect back up, I can use the parallel tool as well, hoping that it will still work. So these two here. Right, it's not going to play ball, so I reckon instead of paralleling it... Wait, what's that connection trying to get on? Right, if I delete that for a second and delete that... I'll have to come back and do that one because it doesn't want to play ball with us. So where's the snap here? The snap is literally under this section. But if I do it like that and then snap you in, that connection's in place. It's just this now. That's the difficult bit. So I'll get rid of the parallel. If I then raise this back up again, so we're up to a 20 there. Oh no! I've got to take this further back. I took the other one further back, didn't I? I forgot I've got to take it further back. So coming out to there, right? That's why I'm having the issues. That's why your boy's having the issues right now. Right, bring this right down. So what we got to do is we got to come out. We'll come out to about here, which is a 5, and then we'll ramp it, quite dramatically up here to the 20 mark. And that is there. Right, that almost bends in. Almost bends in. Disgusting. Disgusting. Disgustingly easy. Once you figure out how you're meant to do it and how it works and how easy it can be, once you figure out all the little tweaks that you've got to make, I mean, I won't say I'm perfectly happy with the bend of this highway now. I won't say I'm perfectly happy with that, but I'll leave it for now, right? And then we'll just kind of end this into this road. So quickly on the parallel. End it there, just so we've got like an end connection to this area. I'm disgusted with how good that worked. So it took a while, was a little bit tricky, a little bit of a play we had to do. I think I might extend these for longer slip roads because that does look a lot better and gives us a lot more run with the vehicles. This works gloriously, which is also, I hate it so much that it worked so easy. I'm just not a huge fan with this. And I think the best option for this would be, if I pause yet again, right, I think the best option would be is to I won't say slightly sink it, but maybe ever so slightly sink it. So if I get rid of that for there for just a mo, and if I bring you out, so this is now on the parallel. So you could ultimately, you're on 5 as well. So we could ultimately bring it to about, trying to keep it straight is the big issue. Oh, no. I thought it was on bend mode. So I found out what the culprit was, and I'll show you in just a second. But if I go to here right now, and then all the way down, right, it's now the bend smoother. It goes under. It was this one here. Because this wasn't elevated high enough, this road here, it was creating the wall, so you couldn't kind of build through it. But I've done it. It's done. It's built. It's glorious. It works. Yay me. Yay me. I've actually built a big intersection. So like I was saying earlier, as long as you understand these, how like you do slip roads now, rather than kind of doing lane math, do slip roads, as long as you can figure that out, you can throw big on and off ramps to different highways and different sections and different areas with ease. I mean, it still is lane math. Like, for example, here's lane math. But you can kind of also get away with that. We've kind of done lane math here and not realized it versus not doing lane math here. So I suppose there's some things you can kind of take away from this. I kind of like resorted to my old ways with this, but everywhere else, I mean, you can always argue there, that's like lane math too. Everywhere else is just big slip roads. So what's the best way in this game? Truly, right now, I'm not 100% sure. But it still remains to be seen. Once we start getting big populations and big traffic, then we can truly kind of find out what one is the better option. But that was, forgetting the bit that I slightly struggled on, oh, look at this, look at the mountains with the snow. That was quite pleasant to build. It was quite easy. It means I feel like I don't need to shy away right now from building big kind of infrastructures. But as of right now, we're now back to normal. We're running smoothly. There's no traffic, but we do have this vast highway area now running through, which will enable us to access areas a lot better. I can plant some trees down. If I need to, I can put some sound barriers up. And hopefully it should all work out fairly well. If you have enjoyed that, boys, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.